Poems by Ruth Manning-Sanders, a very long-lived Welsh-born poet, died in 1988 at the age of 102. Wrote mainly children's books. But here are some poems that were collected by Lascelles Abercrombie back in the early 30s in an anthology called New English Poems. The Clothes Chest. In my house of granite stone, where on moor I lived alone, by the bed whereon I died, see my clothes chest gaping wide. My flannels, changes, shoes and hose, my hat with handsome velvet bows, see them spread all ways about, for greedy hands to parcel out. When I lived then I had rest, I locked my door, I locked my chest. My sister nor my brother's wife darkened my kitchen all my life. Now I am stiff, now I am dead, arms akimbo round my bed. They too are wrangling for the sheet laid on my unprotesting feet. My brother's wife against her side warms the chemise that was my pride. Round her great hips beneath her coat my sister ties my petticoat. If I could rise, if I could speak, I'd curse the blood from my sister's cheek, and these dead hands to this dead breast would snatch again all I possessed. That rather melodramatic poem reminds me a little bit of Is My Team Ploughing by A.E. Housman. Anyway, here are two Cornish rhymes. Number one, Grandma. Grandma's gone a-visiting today, put on her gown that's flowered and silky, and now, says she, the girls must milky, the serving maid must meet the pig, the little lad bring round the gig, for I'm going a-visiting all day. Grandpa's home a-worrying today. Though Mrs. be a treasure, she is over fond of pleasury, says he. These flighty ways don't do in women folk of 72. So Grandpa's home a-worrying all day. The second Cornish rhyme here, Mr. Benny. I've been wronged, said Mr. Benny. I loved a maid as fair as any. I had a cot to house her in. I bought a mangle and a bin, and spent more gold than I belonged to spend on any woman's whim. Yes, I've been wronged. There came a chap from up along who was calling apples 2 a penny. He brought her neither house nor store, he filled her apron and no more. I was old, he was young, he caught her with his bits of song, and I'm alone, said Mr. Benny. Listeners can be grateful that I didn't attempt a Cornish accent. Here's a poem, The Cage. They are not thick, those bars, yet there you lie, with small grave eye, brooding glassily, while your heavy paws uncurl their claws lazily, and your tail half twitches, then falls again. Across those bars the people stream in black confusion, till they seem like tangled thoughts that blur in dream. You heed them not, you watch the dream. Then spread immeasurable spaces, vast trees, garmented with moonlight, places of creeping shadows, scents of blood by dark water, where the flood glitters with monster stars, and you are crouching, quivering, bounding through the illimitable spaces, you with eyes like yellow daggers, you with claws like curled scythes, you with paws like pounding hammers, slantwise striking to kill, you free, intent, unaccountable, magnificent, bounding through the illimitable spaces. Black and white the people stream across the slim, stiff bars, and seem distinct as thoughts that wake from dream. And you uncurl your claws lazily, and blink your grave eyes sleepily, and yawn as there were naught to do. And yet they are not thick, those bars. And finally, prodigal. Now he stands among the pigs that have their ears wet with the swill in the trough, and the only sound he hears is their loud guzzling and champing and sudden squealing, and all about his feet are the dripping mouths and muddy bellies. With pushing snout they thrust upward against his slopping buckets, and lest he sprawl among them, he clouts back the bristly heads. Poor prodigal! And sick with hunger he remembers his father's house, the days of graciousness and kind companionship and clean ways, and he cries, "I will go home, home, and fall at my father's feet." But now he has neither shoes for the journey, nor wine, nor bread to eat, and here are the husks at least, and a shelter at nightfall, and his father's house is many days' journey. Poor prodigal! So with the sour smell in his nostrils he washes his buckets again in the slimy ditch down by the iron fence where the field drain, and at night with his feet in the mire he drives his pigs to sty, and close to their slab grunting bodies he makes him a bed to lie on, a litter of straw, where he may sleep and remember not at all the far, sad beauty of his father's house. Poor prodigal! I hope you've enjoyed those poems by Ruth Manning Sanders.